Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake, from choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's Zola.com.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Thrill me.
I'm gonna name you Coda. You get a name too, Podo.
I got good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
You too? You got a boner too? Blue Steel.
Welcome, everybody, to another Q's and T's installment of the Unkind Rewind. Joined here by my co-host Sean McGrath, who is not in New York right now.
Yeah, you can't really hear the ambulances and the helicopter cops and people being set on fire.
I routinely do have to edit them out of your feed, despite the fact that you live on like the 30-something floor.
Yeah, it's still very much still like Tom Hanks in Big, his first night in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Just domestic entanglements.
This is before 13-year-old Tom Hanks bangs a 35-year-old?
Yeah, he definitely has a pep in his step the next day, doesn't he? I mean,
Eesh.
It was probably a quick minute for her.
Yeah. Although he probably bounced back pretty hard.
That was probably the first clue that he wasn't, say, 35.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready to go like 4 minutes later.
Yeah.
Maybe not even.
The refractory period.
Yes, refractory period.
Of a 13-year-old.
Is that Elizabeth Perkins? I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Yeah, it's probably going to come up.
Oh, yeah, I'm certain it will.
It will come up on this here podcast at some point. Elizabeth Perkins, I believe kind of a shithead John Hurd as her boyfriend.
Tracks, yeah.
And of course a benevolent Robert Loggia. This is a few years after being gunned down in Scarface.
Sure, and a few years before Innocent Blood.
Oh, I thought you were going to say OJ commercial, but
yeah,
he does a great orange juice commercial. Yeah, Robert Loggia, and
I don't know, a legendary commercial.
Yes,
I don't know, maybe Robert Loggia, or whatever the fuck the kid says because he won't listen to his parents and drink his orange juice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very easy to find that commercial if you have no idea. If you think that this is just like a Mandy fever dream that Josh and I are talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not. It's not Cheddar Goblin, although it kind of feels like it should be.
Speaking of Mandy, I'm sure you didn't see this happen, but Eve 6 follows me now on social media because on Blue Sky because someone tagged me in a post that they had said they had been asking why no one told them about Mandy. And of course, I'm like the person that so many people know who was like proselytizing about Mandy.
I was going to call you a Mandy evangelical.
Oh, yeah. Definitely an evangelist for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally just talking earlier today about Jackie's sister still hasn't seen it because Sam saw it twice in the theater when she was gone. So Sam's seen it twice, but Lauren has not. And I was like, "Hey,
Sam being
you want to come
Lauren's,
over?"
Sam
Yes,
being
Sam
Lauren's
being her
husband for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both Jackie's sister and my sister are married to Sam's, and they have had Sam offs before.
Yeah, it's probably it's a lifelong battle, probably.
Yeah, it is.
When you have somebody like that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Mandy is well, good, man. You finally getting a little close to the recognition.
Right.
I don't know if does Cage have any social media himself?
No.
Yeah, he's far above that.
I don't think that he has like access in his hands to the internet. Probably. I would be surprised, honestly. He may not have a cell phone.
He may not know quite what the internet is, too. Like, it might be just something that, like, he heard about, like Sam Raimi pitched it to him, and then he just kind of moved on.
Yeah, memes get shown to him.
Yes.
I know this, but I don't think that he has a way by which to have them randomly cross his eyes.
Yeah, and he's got an assistant or two who kind of keeps him abreast of those types of things, but he probably has a retired or dead Alaskan senator's understanding of the internet.
For sure.
That's a deep
and he's
cut right
still just trying to get a bridge built to nowhere, right?
Did we talk about Longlegs? What you thought of him in Longlegs?
I liked him. I saw it the one time. I wonder how much I'll like it on subsequent viewings.
Yeah,
because I think that the trick could wear thin pretty quickly.
He doesn't play. I mean, it's been a long time, I think, since he's kind of the very clear-cut bad guy. Like he has played kind of, the anti-hero, of course. He's played, the protagonist who's got a lot of baggage, but like the quote-unquote villain is rare in his body of work. I mean,
in the 90s, he did it a little more.
Yes, certainly Face Off.
Yeah, there's Face Off. There's also, not Red Rock West, but, shit. Why can't I think of the name of it? It's circa that time.
I'm sure it'll come to you in the middle of the night. But yeah, I mean, we don't talk too much about current movies. Longlegs was fine. I may have been optimistic it was going to be really good.
It wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be, given the sort of reaction that I had been consistently seeing. So
yeah.
How have your holidays been? You're still on the road for those right now. We're recording this day after Christmas.
Yeah, festive and bright, warm. All the things. Haven't had
no winter tornadoes. I know they.
No, I mean the real drama usually is getting out of New York. So if I can kind of get out before the crowds descend, great. Yeah. Didn't have any problems. I think American Airlines had a big kerfuffle on was it the 23rd or 24th, and the rollover from that can fuck non-American Airlines people quite a bit. So luckily, God, knock on. Need to find some wood here. Knock on anything. I haven't had those miserable kind of holiday experiences where you're, where they have like people sleeping at baggage claim.
Yeah.
And you just like local news shows up just to do like a nice pan and scan of like pure misery.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean I've had some pretty bad travel experiences, but I haven't had that.
Right.
What about Minnie?
Minnesota's been fine. We've been hanging with Jackie's family for the last few days, and then tomorrow we're heading down to La Crosse. My sister took the family down there to be with her in-laws, and then obviously my brother lives there. So
she going to see a Sam's family.
Yeah,
one of the Sams.
A Sam's family. Yeah,
a Sam's.
Hopefully it's the right Sam. Maybe it won't be. Who knows? So yeah, I'll be down there for probably just a day or two. Pretty low key for the most part.
Okay. Did Santa stop by or no?
No, I was skipped.
Wow, shit.
Yeah.
Not even Cole?
Not even Cole.
Fuck. I mean, Cole, I don't know.
Yeah, it's got some use.
With the heating prices nowadays, probably take some Cole.
Yep.
Next year, maybe.
Been with the whole fam then?
Yep. Mom and dad and a stepdad. Luckily, they're not all living together, but I did get to see both tiers.
Is it weird to you to not have family in the city that you're in now?
Yes. So that's been a new adjustment. I'm very much an orphan in my city now.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I was an orphan when I lived in Portland for a long fucking time.
Honestly, it's been maybe not struggle, but it's been a weird adjustment to me, having been gone for 18, 19 years, however long it was.
I bet you forget sometimes, right? You're like, oh yeah, like the people that created me is like not across the country anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's strange. Like, I mean, so many years going home for the holidays just wasn't in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't going to happen. I didn't see my family on the holidays almost every year for probably at least a decade.
If I'm being honest, when I go to Minnesota, you're always like one of the last people I think of like who I should let know that I'm about to be there. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, Josh lives there.
And I'm like the closest person you know to the fucking airport.
Yeah, which is very convenient. But also, like, I've known you, 2 decades plus.
Yeah.
But my association with you...
every other motherfucker you know in the city, you've known for even longer.
Even longer. But also, like, you're very much still a Texas association. You're an LA association. Yeah. Mostly Texas.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, you've been there, 3-4 years now, something like that. And it's still, I mean, that's just my brain kind of playing catch up. I'm like, oh yeah.
I mean, half the time I don't even think I live here, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's something for the therapist.
Uh-huh. Because the episode dropped like right before Christmas. Mm-hmm. Just as a podcaster for I think this is the fifth Christmas? Fuck.
Well, it wouldn't be 4 Christmas.
No, this is the 5th Christmas that I've podcasted during to see like traffic die off at the holidays. So like I know that people don't have the time that they usually have to listen to podcasts during this like couple of weeks. So there's always like a dip and then it like comes back up as people catch up.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of a dip in activity on CQ as well.
Yeah.
People just
Well, you guys just had your 2-year anniversary?
2-year Cinequote anniversary, yeah. And haven't missed a game, haven't missed a day, haven't taken a day off, which I don't know how that's possible, but you know what it's like, the grind.
Yeah. To have for the first time taken time off on Munch My Benson.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's freeing. I don't.
Well, there's always that like, well, we could probably take a couple of weeks off, but like, in my paranoia, I'm like, well, that's going to be...
In a day-to-day game, that's the death of the game.
Yeah, that's going to be the time where some slick-haired executive is like, oh, well, I went to the thing and it was down, said you on vacation, and so I lit a cigar with a $1,000 bill and said, forget them. And
yeah.
Again, that's...
I mean, that's not the likely thing. It's just if you don't do it, people aren't going to know that you came back.
Yeah. I mean, I really wish I could just kind of... Well, maybe... I haven't really done this for the last week or so because I didn't anticipate the dip. Maybe I should have. But, like, it should just be, like, the dregs of cinema. Like, it should really be just an awful, awful week.
I'd posit that today's game was that, but...
It was pretty bad. Yeah, this will be posted by the time it's dead. But today, we did a Christmas movie on Christmas. I thought we should do a Hanukkah movie on Hanukkah. We did 8 Crazy Nights. The animated Adam Sandler Hanukkah movie. Mm-hmm. Can you think of a more, a dearth of Hanukkah options? I mean, I can't think of too many movies kind of focused on that.
Or there is a dearth.
There is a dearth. Yeah, there's a dearth of Hanukkah movies.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, we'll just do that. Oh, it was brutal to go through. Yeah. I hope you haven't seen it.
I've not. I figured it out after. I was like, oh, that's Adam Sandler. This is clearly animated. So I got it on the second one, but
it's bad.
I didn't feel good about it.
No.
Although if I hadn't got it, my streak, I just sent it to somebody. Well, one of my buddies, Greg, not the Greg that'll be a guest coming up, but one of my other buddies, Greg, sent me his screenshot of his like stats.
Okay.
Like, this is pretty good, right? And it's like, yeah, I mean, he's like 92 win.
That's great.
That's great.
Really great. Yeah.
Really great. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's really good. Every time I talk to somebody, they're like, you've got to be kidding me when they see mine. Because I'm at 98.82%. I've lost 8 games, and I've played 670. I've played 679 and only lost 8.
There are some people who get maybe 1 or 2 a week on Cinequote, and I think you miss 1 or 2, every 6 months? Is that kind of the average?
My current win streak's at 82.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's like my 3rd best win streak. My best is 212.
Wow. Well, if you think you know movie quotes and you think you can rival Josh Dugan here,
please step up to the plate.
Good luck. Cinequote.net.
I've got a stats card to prove it.
Yep.
I'm sitting at 99 aces right now.
Not affiliated with aces, but you were able to deduce ace in the hole. Wow.
Yeah. On the second guess.
That was like a major streak killer.
Oh yeah. No, I smoked
major.
That. I've seen it in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, again, you realize you are
a freak,
like a freak on this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and I've aced movies that I've never seen.
Yeah, because you know context clues, and that's kind of the idea of the game. We don't.
Yeah.
We want you to be able to go like, oh yeah, that movie with Marilyn Monroe, and she's got the skirt or whatever and the vent. I haven't seen that, but
No, I aced. I've never seen Friday.
Yeah, well,
and aced that.
You know what Chris Tucker's voice sounds like?
I don't think it was Chris Tucker in the first clue.
Oh, you got it.
It was a woman. It was a woman, but I was like, this sounds like it would be in what I imagined Friday to be.
Yeah, she was like a door knocker,
door salesman or something.
I think she was talking about Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, she was met with a
stern response. Yeah.
Cursing of some sort, and anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we haven't got a ton of feedback on Cloak and Dagger yet because that's the way this works. If you're listening to this and have just listened to Cloak and Dagger, we can get that into the next Q's and T's episode. So,
that was a fun episode.
That goes for any of the older episodes. Like,
yeah, sure.
If you're doing it out of, or if you're catching up, by all means.
If you hear this now, if you're listening now and you're like, hey, we actually haven't heard the, I don't know, Brainstorm or the Cocoon or Labyrinth, go back and listen to Labyrinth. I mean, that was like 10 years ago.
We recorded that pretty much about a year and 2 weeks ago, because I know we were recording with Leon for the second episode right now, because we're doing this again. You're recording from Atlanta, and we tried to record from Atlanta last time with Leon, and it was like right now. I remember we had to reschedule for like January 2nd.
I didn't have my fancy like telemarketing setup that I have right now.
Yeah, I feel like Sean is calling me from Bangalore.
Yeah, I have the headset with the mic that swivels down, so it's very much like a Nintendo Power Club.
Yeah,
where people are like kids are calling me asking how to beat like Ganon.
This is not the first time that the Power Club has been mentioned.
Nobody, I'm sure. I'd be shocked if most people like our age still remember the Power Club, and certainly if you are like, if you're born, after like 88, you're dead. Like, there's no way you're gonna know.
You're not gonna understand what that.
It was a 1-900 number that you would call, and you'd have nerds at probably a Washington State call center answer your questions about how to beat levels or find items in Nintendo games. I think they made like some propaganda video showing how cool it was to work there, but it was probably just awful. It was probably just
the worst.
Yeah, just drudgery. It shows up in the movie The Wizard. I think that he actually calls one of these.
The Wizard, of course, being the movie that was brought to you by the Power Glove.
Yeah. A propaganda movie from Nintendo.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't. Yeah, that was a little surprising we haven't done The Wizard on this yet.
It'll happen. I think it'll happen on a list, but
we get to talk about Jenny Lewis when that comes up.
Yep, and Christian Slater.
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake, from choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates, and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's Zola.com.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to chumbacasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa Welcome Bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And yeah, and one of my
Your favorite bridges?
not one of my favorite bridges, but one of my favorite things to rag on in film is when you have an actor who's never played a video game in their life trying to pretend like they play video games.
So you're saying that Beau Bridges never played a video game?
Like, not like he's being bad on the video game on screen. Like, he's actually like doing well, and he's talking about like, I got to get the level up potion or something. It's like, dude, you'd be running into the left side of the screen, not understanding that the game moves linearly, like on a linear. I can't say it. To the right, like fucking Mario Brothers. He would be jamming his character in the left side of the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that comes up a lot in movies where it's just like, oh, they have to be playing a video game, but we're not going to take the 15 minutes to kind of explain how it works. You see this come up sometimes when a character needs to run, like maybe long distance, and they aren't a long distance runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite noticeable.
I critique running for him a lot.
Yeah.
Like 40,000 beers ago, I was a runner.
Mm-hmm.
And
Josh and I ran together.
Did we?
Yeah.
The fuck? I don't even remember this.
Yeah. We ran on like that river run.
Okay. All right, this is ringing a vague bell.
Josh and I did semi-mid-distance running.
Yeah, I used to run cross country in high school.
Moons ago. Many moons ago. But not to bag on poor Robin Wright, especially after the dreadful Ron Howard movie. But her character had to run long distance in House of Cards a lot. Like Claire.
When you say dreadful Ron Howard movie, do you actually mean dreadful Robert Zemeckis movie?
Oh yes, thank you for correcting me.
Same difference.
I don't know.
It feels like a Ron Howard movie, but it's a Robert Zemeckis movie.
Yeah, I don't know if Ron Howard and Robin Wright have worked together. Nothing's coming to mind right now.
Oh, they have to have.
Yeah, we'll be corrected. But her character Claire Underwood. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it is.
Kevin Spacey's wife on that show would do a lot of long distance running with the like T1000 blade hands. You know what I'm talking? Yeah. Like a really, really, really awful way to do any kind of long distance running. That's like sprinter form.
Yeah. No, that's you're running 100. Maybe
you're running 100 meter. Yeah. It's just one thing that I kind of bag on in movies, and like Josh probably has his, cliches and tropes that drive him crazy. Usually with stuff that you know about. Are you confirming that Ron Howard and Robin Wright have never worked together?
That's what I'm doing.
You had that look in your eyes.
Yeah, God damn it, look. Yeah, that's. I
don't think they have.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
They both make bad movies, and I'm shocked
they
haven't.
They both have.
They both make bad movies that are masquerading as serious movies.
They both have made good movies. They just don't make good movies. Her performance in Unbreakable is great. Her Princess Bride is great.
Yeah.
And her performance as Jenny is really great.
Her performance in Toys is great.
Oh, fucking Toys. Oh, man. It's certainly her.
Sorry, I've got her.
Yeah, she didn't crush it in
filmography in front of me.
And She's the Lovely.
No. Or is it Here? That's the movie where she's banging her. No, it's not Here. It's
I think I called it Home, but yeah, the movie's called
Adoration.
Here. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Adoration is the movie where she and Naomi Watts bang the other's kids.
Okay, so like,
yeah, that's it's set in Australia.
So like a whole like Pornhub genre, basically.
But not at all.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Anyway,
she's still welcome on the show. Anyway, what episode we got coming up? Let's talk about that maybe.
Yeah, so we'll be joined by Summer, who I believe has new socials. I emailed Summer to tell her to call into our call-in line.
Yeah.
Which is...
Everybody should do that.
Yeah, everyone should do it. Phone number is 507-479-6440. So hopefully Summer has done that and has given me an update.
Call in, threaten us, use a different voice, whatever you want to do.
But yeah, so we're joined here by Summer. Summer emailed after the main event and said that she derped hard. Literally every mention of one of the subsequent movies should have been one of the other subsequent movies in the series. The actual fifth one that she was describing.
That's so coded. Like, I can't even follow that.
So this is the last movie that we are doing where the guest knew what movie we were doing before.
After this point, the guest gets notified of the movie we choose.
When we're on mic with them.
In the moment. Yeah. So, but Summer is our swan song where the movie we selected, Josh and I plotted, was revealed to the guest ahead of time.
Yes. And so I guess since there's this bit of information, I should name what the movie is.
Go ahead.
The movie is The Lost World, Jurassic Park 2.
JP2.
And so literally every mention of Jurassic World Dominion should have been Fallen Kingdom, the actual fifth movie, and the one that she was describing. She managed to not only get it wrong while watching it, but while taking notes and referring to it throughout.
All right. Well, let's just like.
And I cannot correct anyone on that because I give so few fucks about the Jurassic World movies.
Okay, look, if you really give a lot of fucks about what the subtitles of the recent Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies are called, then by all means call in and fucking set us straight.
Yeah, please.
We are glad to hear about it.
Call in lines there.
Care.
It'll make it to air.
Even if the numbering is wrong, like JP5, Jurassic Park 7, whatever, we don't give a shit. I love that Summer...
There are things that we'll be pedantic and about and actually care about.
This is not one of them.
Yeah, the subsequent Jurassic Park movies, past the first one, not part of that thing we care about.
It does make me laugh a little bit that Summer cares, and
Summer does care.
I appreciate that. So.
Yeah, I think you'll find out in the main event next week that neither Sean nor I cared about this movie at all. I don't think that it means that it wasn't fun, but man,
it's like ascribing the contender or opponent of Rocky Balboa to each Rocky movie. Like, that's important to me.
Sure.
I don't know. We haven't talked to Summer about it, but like, probably not important to a lot of people. That Clubber Lang.
It's important to Tasha. Tasha Crawford.
Okay, yeah.
Rescue Pod definitely cares.
Tasha does care, and Tasha would know that Tommy Gunn.
Yeah.
Was
Rocky
5. Yeah. And then, God, I can't really remember. I know that it was Antonio Tarver, who was the first time like a boxer was actually playing a character in Rocky Balboa. Do you remember the character's name? It was, I think it was like Antonio Tarver or Julio Tarver, but I think it was a real boxer.
I don't remember. It was a real boxer.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. Anyway, so
close enough.
Funny that Summer cared.
But you just said like the correction, and I still am not going to get them right ever.
Never. No. I have already forgotten because like the Zoom window is in front of that email now.
Yeah.
No idea. I honestly maybe don't even know the names of the like subtitles of Jurassic Worlds 2 and 3.
Yeah. Well, I think we're just following Ian Malcolm's chaos theory on this.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. So.
So you two don't get dig up dinosaurs.
I guess without further ado, I assume summer socials have been thrown in here because I assume Summer called in
via magic.
Yeah, we're traveling through a time machine to have put that in. And without further ado, Summer on her past with the Lost World Jurassic Park. I even called it Jurassic Park 2. It's not. It doesn't have it doesn't have a numerical designation. That's how little I cared about this movie.
Was this a Spielberg or was this a Joe Johnson?
Spielberg.
This was Spielberg. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure we talk about that.
We sure do. But yes, Summer.
Enjoy.
Welcome, everybody, to another teaser installment of the Unkind Rewind. This week, we are getting to know our next guest, Summer. Summer, since not all of the audience knows you, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. So, Summer. If you have been a fan of Josh's work on Munch My Benson, you probably know me, at least by name. Mm-hmm. I am occasionally mentioned, friend of the pod. I've been on an episode, the episode about the episode Transgender Bridge. I don't remember what y'all called that episode, but
it was a very long one, too.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me into, so for obvious reasons, the reason I was on that episode is I'm trans and can lend a little bit of a trans person's perspective on that. Been on estrogen for almost 2 years now. I don't know. What do you want? Just like a general rough kind of...
Since we focus so much on this about the life you would have been living when you would have been watching the movie, I guess download us a little on what your life was like when you were watching The Lost World.
Yeah, so I was an army brat growing up.
Okay.
We lived in Puerto Rico at the time that I saw the movie. My dad got stationed there because the army assumed that he spoke Spanish because his last name is Santos and his family's from Puerto Rico, but my dad was never taught Spanish by his father. So we lived on a Coast Guard base in Puerto Rico. I have to imagine there was some kind of delay between the mainland getting it and Puerto Rico getting the movie, because I looked it up and the mainland got the movie in like May of 97. I distinctly remember us getting the theater on base for the movie for my birthday that November.
Okay.
So
that's quite the delay there, but you did see it in the theater.
I saw it in theater. It was my birthday party. One of my friends couldn't come because it was PG-13 and his mom was very religious. And I was a giant dinosaur nerd. Like, the only reason I didn't pick the original Jurassic Park is A, I'm 100% sure I've seen it more recently, and 2, who hasn't seen it more recently because it's actually good.
Sure. Yeah, there's that. Oh, for anyone who wants to listen, it was episode 135 you're on, which is still
on the
it shouldn't be
archived. Yeah.
Behind a paywall by the time this drops, because this will be season 2, but I think it'll still be. It should still be fine. But yeah, it was 135. Only SVU is able to backdoor in some kiddie porn.
Yes, that's right, because they did.
They sure
Good
did.
job, SVU.
Yeah, way to
go. So yeah, nowadays, like, I've been an English professor. I've, studied the art of literary and film analysis. I have done legal writing. I'm a pharmacy tech now. Like, my life has taken me in all kinds of strange places, but I've never lost my love of dinosaurs.
Right on.
Because they're just cool. So yeah. I mean, I don't really have all that much to plug, but when we get to plugs and stuff, like, I can say some things, but...
Right.
Are you drinking anything?
I'm just drinking a Diet Coke because I have to pick up my brother at the airport in, 2 hours.
Fair enough.
And Adam and I are recording tonight, so I also have to drink then, but...
Yeah,
not yet.
I've got a vodka and Starry.
Nice. So memory can be a tricky thing. Having not rewatched The Lost World, Jurassic Park in ages, can you briefly describe what you remember the basic plot of the movie being? I don't need like a dissertation, but like no more than a minute or two.
The basic plot is, oh no, there was a second island where they raised the dinosaurs in the first place before moving some of them to the park. Jeff Goldblum's back. He has a daughter, apparently. She does gymnastics. That isn't going to become important later, not at all. Stuff goes wrong with poachers, and the poachers are trying to take a baby T-Rex, and the T-Rex parents are not happy about that. They do some really fun stuff, which is probably the highlight of the movie. And then somehow we end up making it to, like, LA or something, and we've got a small dino rampage of a T-Rex in LA, and this is never brought up in any of the later movies for some reason.
So I guess they're deciding they needed to memory hole this?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, they take a T-Rex to the mainland, and it eats someone's dog with the doghouse, like, dangling from its mouth, but that's pretty funny. It's just weird. It's a weird movie.
Uh-huh. I've never seen this. You're telling me that it went to LA makes me think of Predator 2. So I'm hoping they were taking cues from that wild success. So you obviously saw this in the base theater. Was this something that you owned later?
Yeah, when it came out on VHS, we got the nice VHS copy with, like, the holographic box, and I may own it on Blu-ray as part of, like, a Jurassic Park/World collection.
But this is one that you've not seen since your youth?
Maybe college.
Okay.
I rewatched it then, I think, once, but I don't remember, really.
Right. What do you think you were like when this was a fixture of your youth?
So when I would have watched this, I watched this for my 9th birthday. It's odd to look back because I've got, like, the kind of, like, trans filter of, like, sure. Oh, how much of my memory of who I was is even accurate to who I was? And I hadn't started puberty yet, so, like, I think I was probably just a fairly well-adjusted enough kid. Still loved dinosaurs. I think at this point I'd moved on from maybe wanting to be a paleontologist, which I wanted when I was, like 4, and watched the first Jurassic Park, but, like, I think I was thinking stuff along the lines of, well, maybe marine biologist or something. Like, everyone has a marine biologist phase, I feel like. Everyone's just like, whales are cool.
Yeah, or dolphins.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really super aware of the world yet. We were still in the 90s, so things were relatively good, and existential dread didn't seep into every corner of life. Like, I know I'm a little bit younger than you and the other, the other hosts, so, like, that I think is a fun bit of perspective I bring, is I come from a slightly younger set of the millennial generation.
Yeah, because we're cuspers, we're technically I'm technically Gen X.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything in common with Gen X or with millennials. So.
Yeah. Like, 97 was still before I knew what the internet was.
Sure.
I didn't know what the internet was. A computer was the thing I played games on, and ignored the lessons about home row.
Do you know the number one thing that surprises engaged couples? Take a guess. The sheer amount of decisions they have to make while planning a wedding. Indoors or outdoors? How many guests? Are kids invited? Controversial. Which cake flavor? Seriously, how do you even begin to figure out what's right for you? That's where Zola comes in. Zola has everything you need to make every wedding decision a piece of cake. From choosing your dream wedding venue and vendors to deciding how to best spend your budget. With tons of customizable wedding websites, save the dates and invites, every detail will feel like you. Zola will even help you choose the gifts, experiences, and cash funds you really want. The next thing you know, you've planned your whole wedding all in one place. From getting engaged to getting married, Zola has everything you need to plan your wedding in one place. Start planning at Zola.com. That's ZOLA.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So Sean and I are both, like, we would have been seniors in high school.
Yeah. I was 97, I think.
Yeah.
Third grade, fourth grade, depending on when in 97.
Sure. So I'm assuming that as a child, you liked the first Jurassic Park more than the second one, or am I wrong in that assumption?
As a child, I mean, I loved the first Jurassic Park because it was a perfect movie. It was everything. It still is everything. I really liked this one as a kid because dinosaurs. I hadn't developed a critical evaluation kind of way of thinking. Like, right. I did think that Jeff Goldblum's daughter doing gymnastics to escape velociraptors was really silly and tonally weird, but I didn't have that vocabulary to describe it as, like, not fitting the tone of the movie was not a thing I knew how to express. I was just like, okay, that's the part I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome, because now I'm getting the sense that it's also, in addition to taking cues from Predator 2, is maybe taking cues from Jim Cotta, which would be amazing. I can't imagine that's actually the case, but who knows?
And you've never seen this one?
I've never seen this.
No. Oh, wow. I'm surprised I picked a movie you haven't seen.
Well, Sean and I routinely will go with stuff one of us hasn't seen. I'm sure Sean's seen this, but...
Yeah, I was thinking with my list that this would be one that you guys would have seen. Like, this would be one that you might pick because it's relatively available.
That's one of the reasons we chose it, but I haven't seen it, and this came out during the peak 5 years of my most pretentious
film
movie.
Snob.
Yes, yeah. So, like, from junior year of high school through college, I basically was like, I'm not going to any fucking blockbusters. I'm not, like, maybe if it was a Best Picture nominee, I would go, but that was it.
And this certainly was not that.
It was not that. I would assume it's nominated for special effects Oscars, but I haven't looked into it.
It might have been.
I would be shocked if it wasn't, but
it's a good question.
We'll talk about that.
We'll look at that next week. Next episode.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, when we've gotten lists from younger guests, it's definitely oh yeah, we're way older. Like, like some of them, it's like, I wouldn't have fucking seen that. Like, I was a fucking, I was a grown up when that movie came out. Yeah. I'm not seeing that. This is a little different because this isn't a kid's movie.
Yeah.
Though obviously it's,
it kind of
a PG-13 that's geared towards kids. But
especially 90s PG-13 movies. Like, we were no longer in the heyday of 80s PG-13 where you're getting, like...
It's almost an R.
Where you're getting nudity and like, actual, like, not quite R-rated, but steamy enough stuff.
Yeah, and, I mean, this is also... Spielberg directed this, right? I'm almost positive he did.
He did the first. I don't know if he did the second.
I'm pretty sure this is one of the biggest warts on his resume.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. All right, yep.
Yeah. So, what memories do you have that stick out most about The Lost World Jurassic Park? This could range from personal experiences, hanging out with a friend group watching it. I mean, it could be the birthday party.
Yeah, the fact that this was my 9th birthday party, like... I genuinely do not remember any of my birthday parties, like, as a kid, other than this one. I didn't know what a golden birthday was at the time, so, like, I had no reason to mark this as particularly significant toward other birthdays, but this movie hit right at that time. I was still a kid super into dinosaurs. I got to have a bunch of my friends come watch the movie. We had the theater. I could go into the projection room if I wanted.
Okay.
Which was neat. I think I did, like, just kind of to check out the projection room.
I mean, why wouldn't you? If you're a kid, you get to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah, it was wild. It was fascinating. And because, film was still film, it's a completely different thing now, and like that's the only time in my life that I ever did go back there, so it's the only time in my life I'll ever really have that opportunity to see the film reel rolling.
I mean, unless you go to like a revival house very specifically, yeah.
Or someone hooks up like their own film reel at home for like a thing. But yeah, this was one of those movies where like, as much as I am willing to look at it and go, that probably wasn't very good, I enjoyed it a lot, and it holds a very special and dear place in my heart.
Yeah. I mean, revisiting a movie doesn't necessarily mean that even if you don't like it this time, that it'll like erase or denigrate those memories in any way,
No, and because memory is such a weird and wonderful thing. It's it's constantly rewriting itself. It's constantly overlaying the current onto it. And I've known the movie's not good for a long time, but I still love it.
Yeah. So, what was the base theater like? Because I'm assuming it's not like any standard...
It was a small little theater. It just had like one cinema in it. Just, not a lot going on. Not a huge space. Like, it could hold maybe 60 people or so.
Okay.
It wasn't that big, but, it's where I saw movies at the time, because otherwise I'd have to go across the island to San Juan, and, we had to go to San Juan if we wanted to go to a Walmart, so...
Yeah.
It was a small little Coast Guard base, not very big. It was just kind of a little rinky-dink one-cinema theater that did the job well enough.
Was it inclined floor and normal movie theater seats, or...?
I think that it was. It wasn't, like, totally, like, ramshackle.
Sure. Yeah. No, I just wasn't sure, because I think...
Maybe there were two cinemas in there. I don't know. But, like, we got the whole thing to ourselves.
I think of, like, folding chairs or something.
Yeah.
Because I think of World War II, or I think of what you would see in the movies.
No, it was like it was like a movie theater. Like the seating, was movie theater seats, standard for the time.
Sure, not the
really fancy ones that you can see nowadays in some places.
Yeah. So, what expectations do you have for your return to the Lost World, Jurassic Park?
I am expecting... I feel like I'm probably going to be surprised in some ways by, like, either the level of violence meeting or exceeding what I'm expecting based on my memories of it and the first movie, or falling short. One of the two. I feel like I'm not going to land exactly where I think the violence is. Like, I remember the opening scene of this movie pretty well, and the blood... the little creek turning red, I remember that. Like, there are bits like that I remember strongly. Maybe the amount of time given to some things like gymnastics and such will be what surprises me. It's been forever. Like, I remember the girl being like, "Hi, Dad," and like doing like a little thing, and then later on, oh, she does parallel bars to escape the velociraptors, and uneven parallel bars, and it's like, well, okay. I'm not sure if there's more of that. I kind of hope there isn't.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be entirely surprised if there is, and I've memory hold it.
Sure. Do you think you're gonna like the movie?
I think the inner child in me is going to like it. I think the adult with critical thinking faculties is going to go, wow, I really need to turn off my brain and just eat the popcorn.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to get through this one. And I think that's kind of where the split is. Like, the inner kid is going to be so happy to be revisiting this, and the adult is going to be, well, It can't be worse than Jurassic World Dominion, right? We're gonna have to talk a little about Dominion in the second episode here, because...
Is that the newest one?
I think that was the newest one.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I watched the second Jurassic World on the premise from the trailer of a T-Rex roaring at a lion, and that was just the closing shot, and I was annoyed at that. And then I was really hoping we'd get more Mosasaur, and we didn't in Dominion. The Mosasaur was the best thing Jurassic World did, and it fumbled.
Yeah, I can't say I wanted to see the newer one. Jurassic World was fine, but I didn't need to.
Yeah, it had the same issue. This is getting into the next episode territory, but it's the same issue as Force Awakens. It's just
recycled. Yeah,
the original movie of the first trilogy again.
Sure, right. Well, Summer. Before we let you go, where can our listeners find you?
I'm on Twitter, SandTranslator. I'm on Blue Sky, St. Ridley. I'm on twitch.tv/St. Ridley. I occasionally stream video games there. In the Munchcast Discord, you'll see me, you'll know me if you see my name there, because I do pop in now and again and just say things, drop memes. Like this great The Last Dad meme that I made this morning.
I loved it.
I mean, yeah, I don't really have a lot to plug. Like, I might someday eventually have like an OnlyFans or a Fansly or something, but just trans girl trying to survive type things.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah. Twitch is probably... If you want to help a trans girl survive... Go to Twitch, subscribe to me. My Cash App and Venmo are also St. Ridley. Like, I don't know, am I allowed to just be like, here's my Cash App and Venmo, please send me money, maybe?
They're on your thing.
No one's gonna do it. I'm not worried about, like, anyone actually doing it, but, like, yeah, I'll put it out there.
Sure. Well... I don't know that I'm looking forward to actually watching the movie, but I'm looking forward to recording next week's episode.
Yes, I am too. It's gonna be fun. I've been enjoying the podcast so far. You said this is gonna be season 2.
Yeah, this will be season 2. We just wrapped season 1.
Okay, so how many episodes in a season?
We're gonna do 10 movies a season.
10 movies a season. Okay, yeah. So like we're almost.
This will be the 12th or 13th that we'll record, depending on where we can fit everybody in for I know we've done the first 2 pre-interviews for season 2. I've got another one in the works.
So like we're about halfway through season 1 now then.
Yep.
I've been enjoying them. I just want to say, like, man, I remember watching Cocoon as a kid on TV once and being way too young to really get it, and really wishing I could watch it now as an adult. Like, just wishing it was easy. But like, I will get a hold of watching that.
I'll
soon.
tell you off. I'll tell you off. Off mic. What it's on. Yeah.
And Night of the Creeps was one that I was like, how have you never heard of this? Come on. I love.
I didn't have cable growing up. Though.
Right. Yeah. I love weird horror movies like that. That would absolutely have been one of my picks had it not been one of the first episodes.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't have cable, so like there's certain things that's just like, I never saw it. I mean, I've seen a fuckload of stuff, but usually when I go back and watch things on my own, I'm watching like pulpy 70s stuff more often than not, or like 80s but like more action oriented. So like weird fucking late period Charles Bronson movies or something.
I've been on a kick lately with just like mid 2000s to 2010 range, like really bleak horror movies, like Martyrs, the French version.
Okay.
And just so good. No one should watch that movie. It's absolutely like soul destroying. I cannot in good conscience recommend it to a person to watch, but it is fantastically done.
Right on.
At being soul destroying.
Yeah. On that note,
we're gonna eventually watch a soul-destroying dinosaur movie.
Yeah. Well, thank you for potentially opening up your childhood to ruination.
Oh yeah, no.
For the sake of podcasting.
I'm looking forward to it, and I am happy to keep opening my childhood up for more ruination. I sent a whole list.
I've got your list on our log.
And you mentioned during one episode, actually the first 2 episodes you were shitting on Joling Coling Rolling, and I'm like, well, if you ever need an extra guest host on someone doing the Harry Potter movies,
yeah,
your girl's here.
I hate the first 2 so much, and those would probably be the ones that would come up.
Those are the ones I like best.
They're terrible.
For so many reasons I like them best.
Oh man!
At least as far as I remember, but we're getting off track.
Yeah, we're getting far afield of. Anyway, next week, Lost World, Jurassic Park. Hold on to your butts, kids. Thank you for joining us, Summer.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. It's good to talk to you again. It's been a while.
Indeed.
Looking forward to the next recording, and also just next time you happen to roll a very trans-centric episode on the Munch My Benson.
Yeah, yes, we'll definitely keep you in mind. Yes, but yes, thank you.
Of course.
You've just listened to another installment of the Unkind Rewind podcast, mining and potentially ruining your childhood for content, one film at a time. Unkind Rewind is a Munchcast production and can be ingested wherever you listen to podcasts and on the Unkind Rewind YouTube channel. Music for this and every other episode of Unkind Rewind was composed by Divorcio Suave. Rate, review, like, and subscribe to Unkind Rewind on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and Good Pods. Links to all our social media accounts are in our show notes, but you'll find us as at Unkind Rewind Pod on nearly every social media platform, all of which are available at our website, unkindrewind.com. If you have a question, concern, complaint, or feedback, you can email the podcast at unkindrewindpod@gmail.com or call into our call-in line, area code 507-479-6440, and leave a message that can be played on air. Fans should join the Munchcast Discord to discuss this or any other episode of the Unkind Rewind with like-minded people. This dialogue may just make it into a future episode of the pod. The Unkind Rewind Patreon will be coming soon, so start squirreling that pocket change away. Thank you for listening to another Unkind Rewind.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
What makes a great pair of glasses? At Warby Parker, it's all the invisible extras without the extra cost. Their designer quality frames start at $95, including prescription lenses, plus scratch-resistant, smudge-resistant, and anti-reflective coatings, and UV protection, and free adjustments for life. To find your next pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contact lenses, or to find the Warby Parker store nearest you, head over to warbyparker.com. That's warbyparker.com.